Well, tomorrow, National Day of Giving, and the Red Cross hopes to raise money for the thousands of disaster victims they help each year, including those without homes after historic flooding across the Midwest.
News 8's Raquel Martin talked with the Red Cross on why it needs donors now more than ever.
From massive fires to hurricanes and historic floods, any community could face a natural disaster.
They seem to be approaching more and more frequently, and the last 2 years have really been complicated for the American Red Cross.
American Red Cross CEO Gail McGovern says they respond to a disaster every 8 minutes.
It's heartbreaking.
To keep up with rising demand, the nonprofit is hosting their 5th day of giving. Their goal is to raise enough money to help more than 25,000 families this year.
Even the smallest gift makes a difference.
Red Cross donations are used to help families with everything from food to shelter to financial assistance. They're resources that come in handy when federal aid stalls.
Too much red tape, not enough common sense.
Republican Iowa Senator Chuck Grassley says getting funding should be easier. Congress has yet to pay out a $13 billion relief package to hurricane victims in Florida. On the Senate floor, Grassley offered encouragement to flood victims.
Keep fighting and know that help is on the way.
As Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and others face billions in flood damage, McGovern says the Red Cross is committed to do their part no matter what.
I would hope that people that are watching this can reach into their hearts, reach into their wallets, and help the American people get back on their feet.
In Washington, I'm Raquel Martin.
Well, trending tonight, 2 candy giants are introducing new treats. First, Hershey's unveiling 2 new limited peanut butter cups today. There's a chocolate lovers version, mostly chocolate, and also a peanut butter version for lovers of the peanut butter, like me. Both varieties will be available in mid-April. Also debuting next month, the new hazelnut-filled M&Ms. Not sure if I like these, though. You like this?
Oh, I love hazelnut.
You can actually win a pack before they hit the shelves. Just use the hashtag #GoHazelNutty on Saturday, and within a few hours, a pack could be delivered to your door.
Okay, I'll do that. Trending online tonight, have you ever heard of a turkey vulture?
No.
You haven't?
No.
Huh. ESPN analyst Stephen A. Smith does now. Several of his colleagues posted these pictures today and tweeted some things out, saying a turkey vulture crashed right through the window to his office. At one point, ESPN host Trey Wingo tweeted that the animal was sitting in there, staring out the window, contemplating its fate. Here it is. Here are some of those pictures.
I love it. That's good stuff right there.
That is that's the hole left behind by the turkey vulture. And it crashed through the window.
You can only imagine what Stephen A. Smith's reaction was if he was in the room, because he's an animated guy. So
I want to know how they got it out and, you know, what
backstory.
What ensued
afterwards.
Yeah. A neuropsychologist in Ohio is entering uncharted territory for his March Madness brackets. He is the only man who made the right pick in all 48 tournament games played so far.
Hard to believe he's the only one. The NCAA says it's the first time this has ever happened. His name, Greg Nigel. He told CNN today that he almost missed out on filling out his bracket.
It was the 4th one I filled out, the last one I filled out, and I was very close just to going back to bed, and I took some cold medicine, and I almost didn't fill it out, but then I just did it on my phone and real quick and kind of sort of matched the other ones I had filled out with a couple other changes.
It was the cold medicine that did it. The NCAA says the odds of doing this all again is less than 1 in 280 trillion. His picks going into the Sweet 16. You ready? Gonzaga, Michigan, Virginia, Michigan State, UNC, Duke, of course, Kentucky, and Tennessee over Purdue. That's where he lost me.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm in last place in our brackets.
So he's probably right.
So he's right.
Yeah, I'm second to last. So yeah, put her there.
Boom. Yep.
News 8 at 11 o'clock starts now.
I'd be praying for her and her family.
Right now at 11 o'clock, we're learning new developments in the case of a missing Avon mother. What police found today, a week after she disappeared.
We're also learning more about the disease that may have killed 2 elephants within days at the Indianapolis Zoo. Hear from an expert about the uncommon virus.
And we're looking at quiet weather tonight, quiet weather tomorrow as well. Skies will remain clear. A nice warming trend in the forecast. We're talking 60-degree temperatures. I'll give you the timeline coming up.
From News 8, your local news source, this is breaking news.
We do begin with breaking news. A man trapped for nearly 8 hours inside a silo is finally out.
At one point, this guy was buried up to his chest in gravel. It all started around 12:30 at Milestone Contractors. That's on the north side. IFD says the man did not work for Milestone, but was measuring the asphalt silo with a group of contractors. Firefighters think the man collapsed into the air pocket. Rescuers eventually put up barriers around the man and slowly released the gravel from the silo to get him out. The man went to the hospital in fair condition. All right, developing tonight, the car of a missing Avon woman has turned up in Indianapolis. It's just the latest piece of the unsolved puzzle that's been scattered across central Indiana.
Naja Farrell has been missing for more than a week now. News 8's Eric Feldman spoke with some of her neighbors earlier this evening. And I know, Eric, you said that they're just kind of in shock this evening.
Yeah, they're really still trying to process it. In fact, some of the people were reading updates today as we were breaking some of this news about the car being found, but others were learning about this for the first time, about a woman who has lived in the same apartment complex in Avon as them. It was around 86th and Michigan Road this morning that police found Naja Farrell's car. They had already found belongings by Lafayette Road and I-465 of hers before today. Tuesday, they were planning on doing an aerial search by here. We didn't see anything when we went out there today, but IMPD sent us to Avon Police for more information about this. They did not get back to us this evening for comment. Now, back at the apartment complex, some of her neighbors have been following the story for some time, as I said, since Farrell disappeared on March 15th. Others, as I mentioned, learning about this for the first time.
I'd be praying for her and her family because, you know, the support they need when it comes to just, you know, their heart, their peace of mind right now.
Anyone with any information about Naja Farrell, please call Crime Stoppers. That number, 317-262-TIPS. We did reach out to the family. We have not heard anything back at this time. Any update in this case, we'll let you know. I'm Eric Feldman, Wish TV News 8.
Thank you. Developing tonight, the Indianapolis Zoo says a second elephant has died and both animals tested positive for a virus, EEHV. News 8's Julia Dang is following the story. And Julia, I know that you actually spoke to an expert that studies this virus in particular.
Yeah, that's right, Kylie. And he noted that it normally is not common or deadly in African elephants like Naya and Kalina. They were the two youngest elephants at the zoo. They died only a week apart. The zoo president maintains it was not preventable.
We've been working around the clock to save these two individuals, and our zoo family is devastated.
Endothelial herpes virus, or EEHV, is a viral infection with no vaccine. People and other animals can't get it, but elephants, especially younger ones, can die within days. Kalina, shown here in an old video with her mother, was only 8. Naya, who died on the 19th, was 6. Zoo officials haven't figured out yet how they were infected. They were both born and raised in captivity. What's really puzzling is the fact that EEHV rarely kills African elephants. That is according to an expert in Houston who studied EEHV for about a decade.
It doesn't seem to be that common. We found it more often in Asian elephants than we have in African elephants. It's important to remember these species, African and Asian elephants, are two completely distinct species.
The Indianapolis Zoo is now treating their remaining elephants with antiviral medication as a precaution. None of them have tested positive for endothelial herpes virus, but they are mourning the death of their own tonight, something all elephants are known to do. Reporting in the studio, Julia Dang, Wish TV, News 8.
Julia, thank you. IMPD now has a former student in custody accused of making social media threats against a school. The threats forced district leaders to close campus twice in just 8 days. This is at Bishop Chatard. IMPD arrested former 20-year-old Hunter Wooliver today. Investigators say he posted the first threatening video online last week. Chatard held an e-learning day for students then. Police questioned him and arrested him on an unrelated charge. Police say Wooliver made another threat once he got out of jail, leaving students with another e-learning day today. The school's president says the threats named specific people, but would not go into detail.
But where they threatened is the question that is not for me to really ascertain. Our threat assessment team and the IMPD didn't see it as we saw it as a credible threat, but it wasn't an elevated threat.
Students head back to class tomorrow. Chatard leaders say there will be extra police presence on campus, and there will also be a parent meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to go over the issues and then safety precautions going forward. And in Carmel, a 17-year-old boy is facing charges for bringing a gun to school today. Police say they got a tip that a student had a loaded gun at the Carmel Learning Center. Officers tracked him down, found the gun, and arrested the boy. He now faces 2 felony charges for possession of a firearm on school property, theft, and a misdemeanor for carrying without a license.
All right, this is a story we have all been talking about tonight. We're seeing dramatic video out of Florida tonight. It shows a group of cousins from Terre Haute coming face to face with an armed robber. The family was on spring break at the time when this happened. The Broward County Sheriff's Office sharing the video with us. You can see a gunman step out of a car, point the gun at them. Then the group tackles the guy, eventually wrestling the gun away from him. The suspect took off in a getaway car. As for the cousins, they say they're lucky to be alive.
And when I noticed the gun, you know, it was fight mode automatically for me. I knew that there was a possibility that I could be shot and killed. I knew that. That's my family. You know, we die for each other.
Police were able to track down the getaway driver and arrest him. The gunman, though, still on the run.
It is a gorgeous, it was a gorgeous day out there, and it's still a nice evening at 41 degrees. It's just getting a little cooler.
Yeah, the problem is the temperature is dropping, and it will be pretty cool tomorrow morning when you wake up. Going to warm up, though, later in the afternoon, Ashley.
Yeah, it's another cold morning at the bus stop for you tomorrow morning, but with sunshine throughout the day, we'll warm up nicely. Expecting a beautiful day for you tomorrow. Hey, we're quiet right now. I like this kind of weather. It's what we call high pressure weather. It's influencing us. So as you look off to the east, to the west, to the south, there's not much out there for us. It's going to remain this way throughout the day tomorrow as well, but some changes will come into play as we head into your Thursday. Right now, we're at 40 degrees for Indianapolis, 33 for Bloomington. It feels like it's in the 30s for Indy, so it will feel colder overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning, we'll start you out with temperatures in the 20s, mostly clear and, yes, colder than where we were today as we made it to near 50. All right, so let's get right into this. Tomorrow's forecast as you're headed into work in the morning. I think temperatures for most of us in the 20s. The winds will remain light. We'll have a beautiful sunrise taking place closer to the 8 o'clock hour. That's when sunrise happens for us at this point. And then temperatures will start to warm up by afternoon. I think your lunch hour, you'll spend it with temperatures in the 40s. And by late afternoon, early evening, we're talking temperatures in the upper 50s, mostly sunny and dry. Enjoy dry conditions because rain will return to us on Thursday. We're going to track that next chance of rain coming up. Back to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you. All new after the break. Boeing still facing problems with its 737 MAX 8 airplanes tonight. What happened today in Orlando, Florida? That's prompting the FAA to launch an investigation.
And some unvaccinated children in New York are no longer allowed at public parks, businesses, or even schools. The extremely unusual move one county has made to fight a widespread measles outbreak.
You're watching Wish TV, your local news source, with Brooke Martin, Mike Barnes, meteorologist Ashley Brown, and Anthony Calhoun. Now, News 8 at 11 continues.
To some of our top national headlines now, the Federal Aviation Administration is investigating an emergency landing involving a Boeing 737 MAX 8 airplane.
The 2 pilots reported problems with the engine just after taking off. You see some of the footage here. No passengers were on board the Southwest Airlines flight today. It landed safely in Orlando, Florida. Comes just weeks after the 737 MAX was grounded in the U.S. following 2 deadly crashes in 6 months. The FAA says today's landing does not appear to be related to the anti-stall software suspected in the 2 fatal crashes.
To me, it makes no sense. It makes no legal sense, no common sense, and this is an abomination in my sense of justice.
That's Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He's furious tonight. It's after prosecutors abruptly dropped all charges against Empire actor Jussie Smollett. Authorities gave no detailed explanation for why they're abandoning the case, even after prosecutors said they still think Smollett is guilty. The actor was accused of faking a racist, anti-gay attack on himself. He's agreed to do volunteer service and to let the city keep his $10,000 bail.
All right, to New York now, a county just north of New York City banning unvaccinated children from public places. The county is fighting a measles outbreak that's infected more than 150 people since October. Rockland County leaders say they hope to persuade parents to get their kids vaccinated. The county experiencing New York's longest measles outbreak since the disease was officially eliminated from the U.S. in 2000.
I'd just like to know how they're going to enforce that.
Right.
How are they going to, do you have to show up with your papers saying that you're vaccinated to get into the public park?
And it's a highly populated county.
Right.
So that'll be difficult.
See how it all plays out. It is 41 degrees right now, and as Ashley's been telling us, we're in for some beautiful weather ahead.
Right.
It's a little chilly out there, though.
First, we got to get through the overnight hours in the early morning, Ashley.
Yeah. I call it the season where you're just constantly changing what you're wearing.
Right.
Where you start in the morning, you
Yeah.
have on the coat and the scarf, and then it gets to lunch hour and you're just wearing like a jacket, and then you're driving home and with sunglasses on with the windows down. It's
We're
just like,
moving in the right direction.
we are, definitely. The sunshine helps. You know, today, it wasn't a terribly warm day, but it felt great because of the sunshine. Tomorrow, even better as we continue this warming trend. But tonight, it is chilly out there right now. 40 degrees. It feels like 37. Winds not gusty at all. It's actually pretty light at 5 miles per hour. I think overnight winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Our overnight low at 28. We call it an overnight low, but we actually get the coldest time of the day right before sunrise. So temperatures in the 20s to start you out tomorrow, sending the kids out to the bus stop or if you're headed out to work. We're already at 32 by 9 a.m. Now, these models have been trying to indicate a little cloud cover tomorrow. I do think we'll see some cloud cover, mainly high, thin cloud cover throughout the area, but still a gorgeous day with temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, the pick of the week. Now let's talk about Thursday. Thursday is warmer, but the winds pick up. It becomes breezy on Thursday, and we'll even see some scattered showers. Isolated showers possible early. I'm not impressed with the chance of rain on Thursday morning. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. I think some spotty sprinkles to light rain. As we go throughout the day on Thursday, it's windy, and it's cloudy, and it's warmer. I think Thursday night is a time frame that I'm really looking at that this disturbance finally brings us rain. 8 p.m. Showers sliding across the area, mainly north. Widespread rain, a possible overnight on Thursday into Friday. Thursday's temperature trend amazing in the 60s at 63 for Indianapolis, about 57 for Kokomo. Now, these temperatures are in the 60s, right? But we had this issue the other day on Monday where, although we're warming up, that gusty wind makes it feel a little colder, and it will be rather gusty on Thursday. Friday is a day that I think will right back at the 60s, but I think we'll bring in the chance of thunderstorms. Late Friday night into Saturday. Saturday is a day where we're still windy. Temperatures are falling. We'll deal with rain and thunderstorms. We're in the 50s early, but once we get into the afternoon hours, those temperatures really start to fall. The coldest day in this extended forecast is on Sunday. It's the day that we find ourselves behind the cold front here. So after the rain on Friday, the rain on Saturday, as we get to Saturday night and that temperature falls from the 40s down into the 30s by Saturday night, I think we could see a few flurries fly. That's a possibility. The chance is slight, but it's with us. Chapman Heating and Cooling 8-day forecast for you. We're chilly on Sunday at 45. We'll start to bounce back on Monday, but rain returns on Tuesday, but we'll keep that chance of scattered showers in the forecast.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much.
IU back at it tonight.
Yeah, your Hoosiers in action tonight. NIT trying to get to New York City. We'll talk about that. Also, a story you got to see here tonight, especially if you're a Boilermaker fan. Our Charlie Clifford has a story. Man, boy, is it powerful. We'll have that for you and much more next.
The Wish TV Sports Desk, brought to you by Elbert Roofing. Call the expert. Call Elbert Roofing, the name you can trust.
Hey, good evening to you. Despite a disappointing regular season, IU gets another shot tonight at a little momentum. The Hoosiers start the evening at Assembly Hall, one win away from a trip to Madison Square Garden for the NIT semifinals. And Romeo Langford, he sits out again with a bad back. Opening minutes in this game, you got Juwan Morgan here with a huge slam. Morgan scored a team-high 21 points on the night. Wichita State, though, leads by 7 at halftime. Second half, Al Durham gets the steal, and no problems there. The bucket right there for him. IU back within 2, 4 minutes left. IU down 7. Devontae Green for 3. 12 for him on the night. 4-point game, but Dexter Dennis gets hot late. Three-pointer is good. And the Shockers in IU season, 73-63 is the final tonight from Assembly Hall.
Obviously, this season didn't turn out the way we had hoped as we started, but we finished. And there's some guys that'll be better for that adversity. But at the end of the day, it takes time here in the offseason to really, take a deep breath. It's a long year. And then we have to make sure that our players are all on the same page as we move through the spring.
It's not what we wanted to be in, the NIT, but I mean, it's just a learning experience, and just staying together with teams, getting more practice in, we got better, so that's the big thing.
I think just, going forward, these guys have a lot of good things coming back, and, I'm excited to see what they do.
All the best to Juwan Morgan there. Meanwhile, the Purdue team bus is in Louisville as we speak as they get ready for Sweet 16 action. And on board is one of the NCAA tournament's best stories regarding the Boilermakers. This season, making it to March was a miracle for the person who knows the program better than anyone. Our Charlie Clifford has the story.
Larry Clisby made it. 6 months ago, the voice of the Boilers for nearly 4 decades declared himself a dead man walking. At 71, a grim diagnosis, and then another, brain cancer and stage 4 lung cancer.
First thing I said, my fiance and I, when we found out that I had metastasized brain cancer was, we cried a little bit at first, and then I said, we don't have a lot of choices here.
Larry channeled his old Army days, showed up to the fight. Matt Painter, the quote, gregarious young fellow Larry sits next to on the team bus, showed up too. $10,000 towards medical costs, and then something priceless. Purdue basketball in March.
And the Boilermakers have won their 24th Big Ten championship. Man, this is great. Really great. And great for me.
After the year you've had,
yes, sir,
you deserve another ring, partner.
Thank you.
You're about to get one.
Well, I'm glad to see it. When this all began in June, heck, I didn't know if I was going to make it to September, but I did, and probably just in the last month if I felt that I'm okay. I walk kind of slow and stuff, but even those are getting better.
You look back on this season, how do you begin to put it into words from your seat?
Well, it's, I don't think all that much about it, but quite a journey for me and the team and the players and the managers and the coaches and the administrators. I mean, the whole group of them have been just incredibly helpful to me.
Purdue, Painter, Carson, and the Cliz. There is magic this March.
Either you fight it or you don't. And so we fought it right from the beginning, and I think we made the right choice.
Charlie Clifford, Wish TV News 8.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. What a story right there. Hey, don't forget, Wish TV is the home of the Chicago Cubs. We got a special coming up for you as the Cubs get ready for their opener coming up on Thursday. The Fly the W. First pitch with the Chicago Cubs coming up tomorrow, 6:30, right here on Wish TV. Meanwhile, how about this? Major news tonight out of NASCAR. The 2020 Brickyard 400 is moving to the July the 4th holiday weekend. Yeah, the race is set for Sunday, July the 5th. This comes as just last year, the race moved to September for the first time in the 25-year history. Now, the race is set for the first weekend of September again this year. Earlier tonight, we caught up with Speedway President Doug Boles.
It's a weekend that matters, right? It's a weekend when people celebrate. It fits our brand, celebrating America, just like we do in the Indy 500. So we're excited about the theming around it. We're certainly excited as well about the fact that it's a long weekend. We think a lot of people from outside the market will find a reason now to come back to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We don't want to continue to bounce around. So we don't want to move to September and then move back to July and then move to another date if we can avoid it. So we felt really comfortable with it, and we feel like we can make this a permanent long-term home.
Yes, we like the idea. It should be fun in 2020. Yes, the Brickyard 400, July the 4th weekend. We're taking a time out. We're back right after this. All right, folks. Hey, thank you so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night.